What's up, DFS players? We are going through the best player props for today. So we have player props from the NBA Finals as well as one MLB player prop. And our props are going to be on PrizePicks. So again, what is so fascinating about PrizePicks is regardless of the picks you select, your payout won't change. So you take the overs or the unders. We switch Mike Minor to Brady Singer, 20 to win 60, right? It doesn't matter what two picks you select. You're just going to be getting 20 to win 60, 200 to win 600, whatever, plus 200 odds, right? This to win column, it includes your stake, your entry stake. So this is essentially 100 to win $200 in profit, right? So PrizePicks isn't varying payouts depending on if you select the over or the under. Now, this is completely different than the sportsbooks, right? We can see here for Mike Minor, over 4.5 strikeouts. The sportsbooks are pricing this at minus 170, minus 151, minus 194, minus 176, and the under around plus 130, right? Plus 110 to plus 130. And PrizePicks, it doesn't matter if you take the over or the under, right? You are always going to be getting the same implied odds because your payout doesn't change depending on if we take, Mike Minor, his over or his under, our payout's not going to change. So this is pretty fascinating, and we'll go through our two picks on PrizePicks. So the first pick I have that is mathematically profitable DFS NBA pick for today on PrizePicks, or MLB, is going to be Mike Minor over 4.5 strikeouts. So you can see that this player prop on PrizePicks has 2.86% EV. Right? And if you click into the odds, again, it's pretty clear there's value in being able to get Mike Minor in your PrizePicks entry. All the sportsbooks have this heavily juiced. And the way that sportsbooks work is they're constantly taking action in the market, moving around their odds, and their odds imply how likely they think a bet is to win. So Pinnacle Sportsbook is the sharpest sportsbook in the world. They're pricing Mike Minor over 4.5 strikeouts at minus 176. They're pricing the under at plus 130. So if we put that into a zero vig odds calculator, minus 176, plus 130, you can see that our player prop is 59.46% to hit. To break even on PrizePicks, you have to be winning your player props, as we've discussed in other videos, 57.74% of the time to break even. And according to the sharpest bookmaker out there, this player prop on PrizePicks should be hitting 59.46% of the time. So it's a profitable prop to include in your PrizePicks entry. So that's the first pick I'm going with. And then the second pick is going to be, let's go back to it right here, Al Horford over 10.5 points, right? So sportsbooks are setting the line at 11.5. FanDuel is actually one of the rare sportsbooks to offer alternate lines for player props. So you can bet on Horford over 6.5 points, 7.5, 8.5, whatever, right? Most sportsbooks don't offer that, but FanDuel does, which helped me notice this discrepancy on the OddsJam middles page. So you can see right here, sportsbooks have the line set at 11.5. FanDuel has the alternate markets, and we can see PrizePicks has the line set at over 10.5. So they're setting the odds at minus 166 for their alternate player prop line of Horford over 10.5 points. So we can just kind of run through an example quickly. If we placed this, two player prop picks on FanDuel, we would be getting plus 142 odds. So 100 to win 142 in profit. On PrizePicks, again, we're getting 100 to win $200 in profit. Now, if we switched Horford from his over to his under 10.5 points, so let's go back to Horford. If we took his under 10.5 points, we'd be getting plus 239, right? So sportsbooks vary the payout depending on if you pick the over or the under. So even if we don't change Mike Minor, if we just change Al Horford under 10.5 points to over 10.5 points, our two player prop pick entry on FanDuel would go from plus 239 to, plus 142. So a massive difference, right? And of course, FanDuel has the over for Horford over 10.5 points juiced because they think it's more likely to hit. So the two player props I'm going with again today are going to be Mike Minor over 4.5 strikeouts found on the OddsJam positive EV tool, which will just show you where the value is on PrizePicks, right? It will show you the player props that are hitting at a rate above the 57.74% you need to break even, right? And then you can also use the low holds and the middles, tool to find line discrepancies between PrizePicks, where they're setting their lines, and the sportsbooks, like we saw on the middle betting tool with FanDuel or PrizePicks and the rest of the sportsbooks. All the sportsbooks have Horford's point total set at 11.5. FanDuel's at 10.5. And you can use a Poisson calculator as well, worth mentioning. But you can also use a Poisson calculator right here to kind of figure out the difference between a line set at 10 or 11. But anyways, we'll go ahead. We'll lock in this player prop for tomorrow. So we'll lock it in for 250. We got Horford over 10.5 points. Boom. And we have Mike Minor over 4.5 strikeouts. So it looks like we hit this today. Carlos Rodon under 7.5 strikeouts. Robert Williams block shots. We have a couple others open. Jordan Poole under 19.5 PRAs. Robert Williams over 1.5 block shots. Robert Williams over 1.5 block shots. Curry over 2.5 turnovers. This one is just one pick away from hitting. 500 to win $1,000 in profit, 1.5K total. So our MLB prop already hit. We need Curry over 2.5 turnovers. This one already hit as well. MLB or NHL pick, Draisaitl under half of a goal. So that was in Game 4 of Avs Oilers. So a lot, like $3,000 relying on Curry to get over 2.5 turnovers. So should be pretty fun, should be exciting. Let's make some money. Any questions you have about PrizePicks, book a call with us. Feel free to comment any questions on this video. And again, thank you so much for your time.